Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. The Philippines is projected to reach 1 million cases of COVID-19 before the end of April. But this does not mean that the pandemic situation in the country is getting worse. This was the assessment of OCTA Research Fellow and University of the Philippines Professor Guido David, as the country now has 962,307 confirmed cases of COVID-19 as of April 21. But he explained that this does not mean that the pandemic situation in the country is getting worse, as the daily average number of COVID-19 cases in the National Capital Region, or NCR, has declined. However, David pointed out that the capacity of hospitals still has to be improved, as the number of cases remain high and many people will still be in need of hospital care. The Department of Health has urged local government units to increase their vaccination sites so more people can be vaccinated against COVID-19. The health official said it would be better if the non-healthcare workers would be utilized by designating them in the screening and counseling areas. Meanwhile, the National Task Force Against COVID-19 and the DOH said that as of April 20, 100% of the available doses in the country have been distributed, equating to 3,025,600. The NTF and DOH said a total of 1,562,563 doses have also been administered. It said 3,263 vaccination sites are conducting COVID-19 vaccination in various sites in 17 regions as of April 20. Meanwhile, the Philippines, which started its vaccination in March, has ranked third among Southeast Asian countries in terms of coronavirus disease or COVID-19 doses administered as of April 20, 2021. Some senators are now considering to slash the budget of the government's Anti-insurgency task force over its red tagging of community pantry organizers, justified by its spokesperson by comparing the volunteers to Satan's apple. In apparent disappointment over its persistent red tagging of community pantries, Senator Joel Villanueva on Wednesday, April 21, called on his colleagues in Congress to defund the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or NTF-ELCAC. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian supported Senator Villanueva, saying that if these are the kind of people who will spend hard-earned taxpayers' money, then it is not worth it. Netizens agreed with the plan, some of them appealing to the two lawmakers to make good on their social media pronouncements in their deliberations of the annual national budget. Senator Nancy Binay also said that it is high time to look into the budget of NTF-ELCAC for next year. Congress has appropriated a 19 billion peso budget for the NTF-ELCAC for 2021, 16.4 billion of which is to be spent for its development programs for barangays cleared of communist insurgency. Malacanang came to the defense of the government's anti-communist task force after lawmakers considered defunding the agency over the remarks of its members that have sown fear among the organizers of the different community pantries in the country.
Some lawmakers po kasi said that NTF-ELCAC should be defunded. Ano po yung tugon daw ng palasyo dun sa panawagan ng ilang senador na tanggalan ng pondo itong NTF-ELCAC at ilaan na lang po dun sa COVID response yung pondo?
Ang pagkakaalam ko po, yung pondo ng ELCAC para po sa mga proyekto na magbibigay ng asenso at progreso sa mga lugar na meron pang mga rebelde. So sa akin po, hindi naman po justified yan. No? Hayaan natin gawin nila ang katungkulan nila kung meron talaga silang opisyal na ginagawa dyan, pero ang pulisiya po ay malinaw.
Typhoon Bising is forecasted to further move away from the country before exiting the Philippine area of responsibility by weekend, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration. In its latest weather bulletin on Thursday, April 22, the State Weather Bureau said Bising maintained its strength while moving northeastward over east of Batanes. State meteorologists said the eye of the typhoon was spotted 375 kilometers east-northeast of Calayan, Cagayan, or 320 kilometers east of Basco, Batanes as of 10 a.m. It had a maximum sustained wind of 150 kilometers per hour near the center and a gustiness of up to 185 kph while moving northeastward at 10 kilometers per hour. PAGASA said the tropical cyclone is forecasted to exit the country's area of responsibility on Saturday evening or Sunday early morning, April 25. Areas under tropical wind signal number 1 are Batanes and the northeastern portions of Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands. Here is a roundup of news in and around Metro Manila. Let's watch these reports.
The Las Piñas city government is strictly implementing a no walk-in policy in the vaccination sites, and only those who receive a text message will be allowed to proceed to avoid overcrowding. In a post on Facebook page of Mayor Imelda Aguilar, the city government said it wants safety health protocols to be observed during vaccination. Meanwhile, a report from the city health office showed that a total of 14,975 health workers, senior citizens and adults with comorbidities were already given vaccines. Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte on Wednesday appealed to the country's anti-communist panel to be more sensitive to people's feelings as deploying armed personnel to community pantries might stoke fear among the citizens. Belmonte said that as much as she understands the responsibility of National Task Force to end local communist armed conflicts or NTF-ELCAC to ensure security, she also wants it to trust the structure they put in place. Belmonte added that it's actually the barangay authorities that have the capacity to determine the threatening or alarming actions because they know their people in the community. Since the Quezon City Police District already told Belmonte that it was not members of the city police that were deployed to Maginhawa Community Pantry carrying long firearms, the mayor said she assumes that personnel were from NTF-ELCAC. Belmonte told NTF-ELCAC that the local government is willing to work with it should it get alarming and verified intelligence about community pantries.
Now, let's take a look at the latest news in other parts of the country. And here are the details.
The city government of San Jose del Monte in Bulacan said it has allotted 100 million pesos for the purchase of COVID-19 vaccines. According to Representative Florida Robes, the city government is finalizing tripartite agreements with several vaccine producers for the purchase of vaccines. The city is aiming to vaccinate 75% of those eligible by end of 2021 in order to achieve herd immunity. The remaining 25% will be vaccinated in the first quarter of 2022. A big help. That is what some residents had to say after community pantries started to sprout in various areas in Cebu City. Residents say they were happy that community pantries have spread to Cebu after gaining prominence in Metro Manila. The putting up of the pantry was spearheaded by one Alexander Kabatingan. Community pantries were also spotted in Barangay Guadalupe and Cebu and Cordova off Mactan Island. Police Colonel Josefino Ligan, chief of the Cebu City Police Office, said community pantries are welcome as long as health protocols will not be violated. The city government of Davao will soon establish a drive-through swabbing area at the Davao Crocodile Park to cater to drivers of public utility vehicles as local health authorities continue to expand testing capacity in the hopes of detecting more active cases of coronavirus disease, according to a health official. Dr. Ashley Lopez, acting head of the City Health Office, said on Wednesday that the structural plan of the testing area has been completed, while the traffic plan is being threshed out in preparation for the implementation of the drive-through testing area. The drive-through COVID-19 testing is part of the intensified community surveillance swabbing of the local government. Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte is expected to issue an executive order for the mandatory swab testing of all PUV drivers in coordination with the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, according to Lopez.
Now here are the updates from around the world. Here is that report.
New Yorkers have been vaccinated against COVID-19 were able to get an unlikely freebie wheat. Activists celebrating the recent legalization of recreational pot in New York State handed out free marijuana in Manhattan to anyone with proof they had received at least one vaccine shot. Organizers choose April 20 as the date as the way to mark 420, an annual day of celebration amongst several dozens of cannabis fans. They only had to wait 10 minutes at most in the spring sunshine. They showed their vaccination card in paper or via phone, gave their email address, and joint was there. There seemed to be little verification required to prevent someone from queuing twice. An Indian railway worker has been hailed a superhero after he sprinted more than 30 meters along a track to grab a boy from a path of an express train. CCTV images of Mayur Shelki's incredible rescue have gone viral on social media, with many lauding the selfless 30-year-old. The 6-year-old boy was with partially sighted mother on Saturday at Vangani station, about 70 kilometers east of Mumbai, when he fell off the platform edge on the track. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal said Shelki would be rewarded for motivating humanity with his work. Who gets the dog or cat when the couple breaks up? A proposed reform of Spain's legal system seeks to recognize animals as sensitive living beings instead of mere objects, as has been the case until now. The change will pave way for judges to declare joint custody of pets in divorce hearings, just as they do with children. The reform sets out the criteria on which the courts must rely in deciding who to entrust custody of the animal, taking into account its well-being. It will also give pet owners the right to compensation for moral injury if their animal is hurt by another person.
Now let's find out the latest in showbiz. Let's watch this.
Actor Gerald Anderson recently featured his new babe Julia Barreto on his vlog. In the vlog, Gerald asked his very special guest to try Filipino street food. Among the food in the list were papaya, singkamas, Indian mango, isaw, balun-balunan, kwek-kwek, binatog na mais, suman, and dinuguan. Asked which one she most excited to try, Julia quipped, wala. According to Julia, she never had those food before, but she was willing to try for Gerald. However, the young actress was also expressive when she doesn't like the taste. The vlog video now has more than 150,000 views.
And now the latest from the Manila Bulletin sports section. Let's watch this report.
Filipino weightlifter Vanessa Sarno bagged 2 gold medals and a silver in the women's 71kg category in the Asian Weightlifting Championships Wednesday, April 21 in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Sarno, a former champion in the Asian Juniors, ruled the clean and jerk category and finished with the best overall score to win 2 gold medals, and she finished second in the snatch for the silver. The native of Bohol lifted 128 kilograms in clean and jerk and carried 101 kilograms in snatch, which gave her an overall score of 229 kilograms to rule her category.
And those are the news on Web today, April 22, 2021. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph, or you may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.